Today I'm going to be talking about how you can get seen more online without posting more. So there's this thing that's going around in like all of the entrepreneurial land where you need to be hustling 24/7 to be seen. You need to be spending thousands into Facebook ads in order to be seen. You need to be consistently posting on Instagram story in order to be seen. And quite frankly, I don't have fucking time for that. And I don't think you guys do either. So how do you get seen online without constantly being online? Okay, and the answer is learning how to use keywords on search engine social media websites. Okay, so let me talk about the difference between search on social media websites like like Instagram and Facebook, and then keywords like on YouTube and Pinterest. So hashtags are time sensitive search. Okay, so what that means is when you use a hashtag, it is time sensitive. Therefore, when you post something onto Instagram or onto Facebook, your result lasts at the top of the search immediately when you post the hashtag. Okay, so if I use hashtag like female entrepreneur and I just posted on Instagram, that picture will last at the top of the search on the hashtag search until the next person posts female entrepreneur. It has nothing to do with relevance. It has nothing to do with the content is amazing. It has nothing to do with how, like I said, relevance, if people like the photo or not, or if it's even relevant to the subject the person's talking about. So I know a lot of people like hashtag bomb onto other people's Instagram accounts. So let's just say if you're a female entrepreneur and like your picture has nothing to do with sunsets, but you want to use sunset because there's a lot of hashtags on sunset, then you can also do that. So relevance doesn't matter in the hashtag search on Instagram. So what does this mean? This means that this makes your content really hard to find by your ideal clients, because your ideal client needs to be online at the exact same moment that you post that hashtag, because that's quite frankly how they will only ever see your content, because it is time sensitive. Now, that is one way to be seen in search. The other way is keywords, okay? And keywords are associated with search engines. What are the best search engines that I always recommend for people to use when they're growing their influence online? Pinterest, YouTube, podcasting, and blogging. Okay, and I'm going to explain to you why keywords are better than hashtags when it comes to your content being seen online and being seen without having to be online. It's because when you use a keyword, it is relevance targeted. Okay, so your keyword, if people like your content, if you're posting valuable content, if people are getting value out of the content and they share it around and more people have eyeballs on your content is going to gain a higher relevancy over time. Okay, that's how content on search engines go viral over time. So what does this mean? That means that if you pair your keywords, or if you use keywords on a search engine correctly to describe the content that you're pushing out there, your content is going to live regardless of when you posted it on the internet. Okay, so the main difference between hashtags and keywords is that when you use a hashtag, it is time sensitive. So that is why when everyone's sweating on the gram and you're posting all this content, your content is probably amazing. Your content is probably worth being seen by your ideal clients, and your content probably is better than the people that have millions of followers. But quite frankly, when you're dealing with a time-sensitive social media website, that is so irrelevant, okay? Because all they care about is you paying to play for advertising so your content exists on the search engine, or you consistently post on Instagram. So you're essentially living for the gram and you're posting on Instagram story 24/7. Your phone is literally like buried in your phone, because in order to grow on Instagram, you either now have to pay for ads or your face is buried in your phone. Okay, but what's the easier, better way to not even have to deal with any of that? It's put your content onto a search engine social website. Why? Okay, and I just explained with the opposite of hashtags is keywords. So what keywords are there's keywords and then there's long tail keywords, and they work the same as hashtags, and they describe what your content is about on a search engine, okay? So for example, keywords work in the way where not only do they last forever, the more that your content is being searched for, the more relevant that it is to people's questions, the more of a chance it's going to live on the top of the search engine and go viral. So that is how posts on Pinterest and YouTube last for years. I always relate this to music videos. So when you see Britney Spears' Baby One More Time, and when you type in Baby One More Time into Google, into YouTube, wherever you want to type it into, her video by her, created by her, is always going to pop up number one. Why? Because it has like 500 million views, or it's probably even more. I don't even know. But it has like multi-millions of views. It's never going to die in the search engine because it is a relevant keyword, and that is the most relevant video for the keywords, okay? So this is how your content lives online without you having to be present online, is by using keywords on a search engine. So, like I already said, this is different from hashtags because hashtags on social media websites are time sensitive. Your ideal client has to be actively present on the platform at the same time you post a post in order for them to see your content. Whereas the opposite is true for search engine social media websites. So when you type in your question onto Google, onto Pinterest, onto YouTube, like how do I French braid my hair? How do I start an online business? How do I do taxes? How do I buy my first house? Whatever. You're not typing that information onto Instagram, okay? You're not typing that information on the Facebook. You're typing it into a search engine. So what is going to pop up? If you provide valuable content onto a search engine social media website, your content is going to pop up, okay? And guess what? Your ideal client is searching for the answer, okay? Who has the answer? You do, okay? Pinterest marketing. How do I start an online business using Pinterest marketing? Guess whose answer is going to pop up if I put my valuable information in my course on the internet and I push it onto a search engine? My content. Because when people want to learn how to do something, which is what an expert business should give the answer to, they're going to Google. They're not going to Instagram, okay? Instagram is the online business card. So is practically Facebook. People go to Instagram to see if you're relatable and to see if they like, if they can vibe with you, and they can see so they can look at your captions if you're doing it correctly, if you're storytelling and you're telling people about your life and you're telling people how they can relate to you, okay? I'm not saying you can't sell stuff on Instagram. You totally can. But what I'm saying is if you want to get targeted leads into your business by posting valuable content onto a social media website, you should not be doing that on Instagram. You do that on a search engine, because when you post your content onto a search engine and you know how to use SEO correctly, you know how to use keywords, you know a graphic that makes a post go viral, which is everything I talk about in my Pinterest for Business course, you will get targeted traffic and leads on autopilot without having your face buried in the phone. Let me know if this is making sense in the comments. I'm going to go look at what you guys have been saying. Shakira says, hey Shakira, how are you? If you guys are watching now, let me know if this is making sense in the comments, or let me know if you have any questions on Pinterest for Business or just search engines in general and how it's different from Instagram and hashtags. So another thing I hear people complaining about is not having the swipe up feature because they don't have 10K followers on Instagram. Well, guess what? If you're not going to pay and play for ads and you only have 500 followers on Instagram, the chances of you seeing 10K on Instagram, unless you go viral, are slim to none, okay? Unless you do it for another 10 years, okay? So, hate to burst your bubble, but that's just reality. So, what platform gives you a link every single time you post a picture? Pinterest. What platform do you provide valuable content instead of posting duck face selfies to get attention? Pinterest. Where are people searching for the answers that you provide with your expert knowledge? They're going on a search engine. And all of your answers, or all of the posts that you push onto Pinterest, onto YouTube, they go onto the Google search engine, because Google owns YouTube, and all of Pinterest, because Pinterest is a search engine, all of your content that you push onto Pinterest is also being shown on the Google Images site and the Google links, okay? So the way that Pinterest works on autopilot is because people 24/7 worldwide are searching for answers to their problem. And they search for the answers on Google. They're not searching on Instagram, okay? For example, I used to say, this is popping in my head again. I need a new example. But when my stomach hurts, I'm not going to go on the Instagram to see what I should take when my stomach hurts. I am going to Google, my stomach hurts. What pops up? Remedies for my stomach hurting, infographics about like stomach and whatever, diet, gut health, all of this stuff. And I'm being led to other websites, clicks to the website. I'm being led to other websites that I can purchase things on in order to facilitate my stomach not hurting anymore. Okay. Did you see the funnel that I just mapped out for you guys? When you have the problem, you go to a search engine. Pinterest and YouTube and Google, okay? You go to the search engine, you type in your problem. How do I start an online business? How do I start a YouTube channel? How do I do Pinterest marketing for my business? All of these things, okay? Then you type that into Google and you press submit, okay? All of these answers pop up. They're either YouTube videos, they're website links, they're images, all of these things, okay? If you pushed valuable information onto a search engine social media website, YouTube or Pinterest, your answer is going to pop up onto the search engine, okay? And when your answer pops up on the search engine, guess what your ideal client is going to do? They're going to click on your video or on your Pinterest infographic or link. And when they go and click on that, guess where they are led to? They are led to your website. And if you have more valuable information on your website, if they're more where you can link them wherever you want on a Pinterest image, but I'm just going to say website for now. You do not need to have a website in order to have a successful Pinterest channel, okay? You direct them to your website where you sell your products and services. And that's how you get people on your website. You can have an opt-in page. That's how you get people on your email list. That's how you get people to know that you actually exist. That's how you get people to your website, okay? So, Shakira says, I love your example. It makes it so easy to understand. I'm so happy to hear that. That is like, I love when you guys say that, like, you understand what I'm saying, because I want to make sure that I'm clarifying everything and that it makes sense. So I'm so happy to hear that, Shakira. So go to your website to get your products and services. And that is how the Pinterest funnel is mapped out. It starts with the problem. Your ideal client has the problem. How do you know that how do you say that? I started talking too fast. I need to slow it down. I get too excited. So, your ideal client has the problem. How do you know that they are your ideal client? Because you have the answer to their problem, okay? So when they type that into the Pinterest search bar, when they type that into the Google search bar, your answer is going to come up. People aren't going on Instagram to look for solutions to their problem. And if they are, all of the results are time sensitive or it's popularity based. So what that means is your ideal client on Instagram needs to be on Instagram the exact same moment that you post content, or they're not going to see your content. And your content dies 30 minutes after you post it anyway, okay? The opposite is true for Pinterest. The more people search for your content, the more popular your content gets on the search engine. So what does this mean? This means that your content lives forever, okay? I have pins at the top of the Pinterest search engine that I posted literally 4 years ago, okay? 4 years ago. Imagine like having your Instagram result in the hashtag search from 4 years ago. That doesn't happen ever. It doesn't even happen for a day ago, okay? That is filtered out like immediately. It's filtered out like literally 30 minutes later. So, how can you get seen online without consistently be sweating for attention? You need to put your content onto a search engine social media website, okay? And the reason also being is because people go to Google for answers to their problems. They're not going to Instagram and they're not going to Facebook. Unless you want to type into a Facebook group, how do I do this, da, da, da. But then again, it's a free-for-all. You need to be on that platform at the same exact time. So that's you going to your ideal client, whereas Pinterest is the opposite. Your ideal clients come to you. So you never have to worry about when your next lead is coming, because your ideal clients are searching for you. They just don't know about you yet, okay? Because you're leading with the problem and you are the solution, which is the exact on Facebook groups and Instagram. It's like people usually search for the person and then they go and see their content. Where when you're on a search engine, it's like, oh, I am searching for my problem no matter what this person looks like, no matter how many duck face selfies they have. I just need the valuable information like right now. That's what I'm looking for. So that is why it's your moral obligation to also post valuable content online, is because if you lead somebody to your website, you also need to have valuable information there. If you lead someone to your YouTube channel, you need to be consistent. If you lead someone to your Instagram page, you need to be consistent, and you need to have valuable information for them to, I don't know, what's that word? I was going to say ingest, but that's not right. To take in, because at the end of the day, if you can lead anybody anywhere online, but if your freebies are half-assed, if your content's half-assed, if you don't show up for them, then they're going to leave just as fast as they came to your website, okay? So I'm going to wrap this up. If anybody's on now, if you guys have any questions watching now or watching the replay, let me know in the comments. I also have my Pinterest for Business course that I'm doubling the price next week because I'm adding niche specific modules for any brand or business. So I link the course in the caption part of this video. I will also leave it in the comments when I hop off. So I want you guys to take a peek in that if you are interested in using Pinterest for Business. So wrapping this up, how do you get eyeballs on your content, targeted leads at any time of the day? Only by posting like a couple times a day, is by pushing your content onto Pinterest, okay? You can also use YouTube, you can also use a blog, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to be talking about Pinterest because that's what I'm passionate about. So the way that people see you 24/7 without you being present is because the difference is that keywords are relevance based, okay? Hashtags are popularity based and they're also time based. So when you go on Instagram, it is a popularity contest. Your content's only going to be seen on the top section if you're paying for ads or if you're popular, okay? You could be posting worse content than somebody that has 2 followers, but it doesn't really matter, okay? Pinterest is the opposite. They rank you based off of the value that you provide to other people. The people vote by viewing and repinning your content more, okay? So Pinterest values you, or Pinterest, what's that word? They rank you by the value you provide for other people. Instagram ranks you by how many duck face selfies you can take, how naked you are, and I don't know, how dumb you can be on the internet, essentially. So if you want a platform that essentially allows it rewards you for providing valuable content to your ideal clients, because your ideal clients are always searching for your content. I'm just like literally repeating myself right now. That's why I'm like blanking, because I'm literally saying the same thing 24/7. Your content exists on Pinterest because of keywords. Your content doesn't exist on Instagram because of hashtags, because it's time sensitive, and Pinterest is the exact opposite. So yeah, that's really all that I have to say. For some reason, I'm like completely blanking, like how I did when I was like doing my marketing speech in Las Vegas on influencer marketing. Someone literally asked me what an influencer was, and they didn't ask. I was like talking about the first slide about what an influencer was, and I like completely blanked, and I was just like, why am I blanking? I'm an influencer. I know what an influencer is. But for some reason, I don't know if it's the heat or whatever, but I'm like starting to blank. So I'm just going to like get off of the live stream. But if you guys are watching now, watching the replay, if you have any questions now, an hour from now, 5 hours from now, don't ever hesitate to come back and let me know in the comments, because I love going back, Love answering your guys' questions. Even if you say, hey, you just leave a nice comment. I love going back and saying thank you or answering your guys' questions. So I'm going to be doing Pinterest live streams all of this week, Pinterest for business. So if you guys have any more Pinterest for business questions, let me know in the comments. This is going to be like the last rally until I double my price. And yeah, add in all the amazing new bonuses. So hop in now before I raise the price, okay? Because once I add in all those new modules and once I like switch my brand colors and like redo the PowerPoints and update all of the information, I am going to be doubling the price. So don't come at me like 2 weeks later and be like, oh, can I have the price from before? Because I'm going to say no. Okay. So I hope you guys have an amazing Monday, and I will see you guys tomorrow on the next live stream. Bye, guys.